So BMW Motorrad makes some of the most amazing motorcycles on the planet. And they've been around in India for a while now and they're doing quite well. In fact, one of their bikes, the G310 GS, is actually made right here in India. Well, we are here in Pune for the BMW Motorrad GS Experience. What is that exactly? Well, if you are a BMW owner of a GS motorcycle, you can come down to the GS Experience and you can learn how to handle these amazing machines. That's because these machines are so advanced and they're so big and so powerful that you would be out of your mind if you just bought one and went out for a ride. So you come down to a GS Experience and you meet the instructors and they'll show you all the tricks you need to handle these amazing motorbikes. We've been here for the whole day and we've ridden the entire lineup of the GS motorcycles and we've had a phenomenal experience with the instructors here. Now they've only focused on three main things today, and that was our footwork, our bodywork, and our sight of vision. And it's very important how these all come into play when you're riding and handling big bikes like this. It's a phenomenal experience if you want to come and see what the range is like, and if you want to see how high your capability is for riding a big bike like the GS. Well, getting back to these bikes, we've also managed to ride the new F850 GS Adventure. Now, we've already ridden the F850 GS a long time ago when we rode it to Dehradun. In fact, you can watch a review on YouTube or you can head to autox.com to read the entire review. Now, that bike was a more road-centric bike. It wasn't really a hardcore off-roader. And if you are a hardcore adventurous and you really want to go out and ride on tarmac and at the same time go and hit the dirt really hard, well, the F850 GS could do it, but not so comfortably and not so capably. The 850 GS Adventure, on the other hand, is tuned to be a more hardcore off-roader. And well, it's got a few updates to do that. The first thing you'll notice that this bike is significantly bigger than the 850 GS. The Adventure version we have here is about 240 kilograms. That's because it's got a massive front cowling now and a radiator cowling as well. The fuel tank is now 23 liters of capacity, so you can go on ultra long rides and, pull the throttle down and be very happy with it for as long as you want without a problem. Other changes are the adjustable windscreen, and of course you've got the luggage case here, and you've got the engine crash guards, and you've got a better suspension now. It's got more travel at 230 millimeters at the front. The rear suspension also has been made a little bit more stiff. That's because the weight of this bike is more. So to adjust for that, the rear has become a little bit more stiff, but that does not affect the ride quality at all of this bike. Now, we've only ridden this bike on an off-road section today. That's because we've already ridden the 850 GS. We know it's fantastic on the road, and we knew it could be a little bit better off-road. So we spent the entire day here at this GS Experience obstacle course, and we've put the 850 GS Adventure through some insane obstacles. And now our instructor, he managed to help us understand these bikes a little bit better. We learned a lot of interesting things about how we can handle these bikes. The 850 GS Adventure now gets the same engine as the 850 GS. This is an 853cc water-cooled engine that's a 2-cylinder, and this one has been bumped up to about 95 brake horsepower and 92 Newton meters of torque. Overall, engine refinement is the same, very smooth, very crisp. Acceleration is spot on. The torque kicks in when you need it, and that's honestly more than enough power that you can use on any riding conditions, whether you're on the road, or you're on the highway, in the city, or whether you're going off-road. Now again, this version we have is the Pro version, so it gets added rider modes. There are 4 riding modes in this one, but we've only stuck to the Enduro Pro mode. That's because we've been off-road the entire day. Another thing I want to mention is that we do not have the stock tires on here. We've got some nice proper Metzeler off-road tires for this occasion. We've also adjusted the handlebar and the clutch and the brake lever so that when we're standing up, it's more comfortable. Now, getting to the way this bike rides off-road, to be honest, the steering damping is perfect. This front suspension is really nice. The ride is very pliant no matter how rough the surface is. We've been on some loose dirt and some hard surfaces here, some loose gravel, a few jumps as well, and we've had a very nice overall experience with these bikes. They handle very well. Even though it's heavy, once you get moving, the center of gravity of these bikes are all placed right smack at the core of it, so it's very easy to handle between your knees. Another thing is that the rear suspension really feels good, especially when you're fishtailing a little bit, so it stays planted no matter how hard you pull the throttle down. And when you're in enduro mode, the throttle also becomes a little weaker, so the power kicks in a little late, and that's obviously because it helps with traction, so you don't twist all the way down and gets flying off the road. It's a very convenient feature to have that Enduro Pro. Of course, it switches the ABS off and you can adjust everything else the way you want it to be depending on your riding style. It's got an amazing instrument cluster, TFT, that looks beautiful and it displays all the information you want, and you can control everything quite easily from here. The suspension, the ABS, and the throttle response, everything can be controlled right from here. And overall, this is a really good bike. So if you liked the 850 GS, and you like to go on a lot of long rides, let's say to Ladakh or Spiti, for example, this is a much better option because it is just as good on tarmac, and when you want to go into the rough stuff, this is even better. 21-inch tire at the front again is really nice. Spoke wheels, very good. We love the gold color on them, by the way. It really stands out. Overall, this bike is really good. The GS experience is essential to owning one of these bikes because you really will become a much better rider if you attend one of these amazing events held by BMW Motorrad. So if you are interested in buying a BMW GS motorcycle, or if you already own one, make sure you do go to one of the GS experience events. They are fantastic, and BMW continues to make amazing motorcycles. We are very impressed with this thing. So this 850 GS Adventure model has a starting price of rupees 15.5 lakh rupees ex-showroom Delhi. Now, that is a little steep, of course, but you're getting everything you could ask for. It's the total package for an all-out adventure motorcycle. In this segment, you got the Tiger 800, you got the Multistrada 950, but honestly, I don't think any of those bikes had the versatility and the capability of this motorcycle right here. It's a BMW. They started this segment. It's a really comfortable bike. The quality is top-notch, amazing features, so the price is highly justifiable. I really like this bike, and I cannot wait to go out on an adventure on this machine.